What's going on, gamers? How's everyone doing? I had a great night last night. I had a candlelight vigil for my brother's passing. It was phenomenal. So, yeah, definitely was some good emotional stuff. I may post a clip of what I did on my Twitter. We'll see what happened. Gave two great speeches. Now, getting into this, though, this is something just kind of funny because I see certain Xbox haters leave Dreamcast 2 guy comments on my channel because they can't handle the truth, which I mean, I'm like, what? And I like Dreamcast guy. I think he's a funny guy. I think he's cool. But hey, he was right the whole time, right? He always thought that the Xbox Helix was going to get canceled. Now, the funny thing is I think that what's going to happen is it's not going to be nowhere near as prominent as the Xbox fanboys think. And in this short little highlight right here by Sneakers SO, which we know he has reliable information, he lets you know that Microsoft is putting up a front this whole time. If you're intelligent, you can see through it. I can see through it. A lot of other channels can see through it. And there are certain people that are actually not doing Xbox content like they used to. They changed their whole page. They can see through it too. But they still kind of have to like play that game because why not, bro, right? And they're about the beef in a certain way. Now, the interesting thing here is James at the top right says there is no future for Xbox hardware, and they really aren't pretending otherwise internally. Like it's almost like kind of like when you play politics with somebody, you know what's going on behind the scenes, or you're at a movie theater and you're acting. The hero and the villain could have just had lunch in real life, but in the green room, they're, you know, kind of like knowing, hey, when we get on this stage, you know what's going to have to happen, right? It's a club behind the scenes. Now, Microsoft has to play this game definitely with their fan base. And a lot of people sometimes just never catch on, but other people try to tell them and they get mad at them. The thing here is that the Xbox Helix to me is to me a mirage. It's not anything that you think it's going to be compared to other future generations. As a matter of fact, it's not going to even be a console. I believe that this thing is going to be the same thing as the Steam machine, except Valve could probably have a future for the Steam machine to lower the price down the line and to actually make a Steam Machine Pro or something. We'll see what happens, but right now it's a colossal failure. And I believe the Xbox Helix is going in the same route, and it's going to not have that many units produced. Now, in this post right here, we're going to find out some things. So this is what Sneaker says. It only took them 12 years to realize. Now, erase day one on PC. This is what Sneaker says. Ironically, this is the only thing that would resemble, and I want you guys to think about this, stick through this whole video. Ironically, this is the only thing that would resemble a focusing on growing their hardware position if they were being serious. Think about what he just said, right? So I said, they're clowning you. This is a clown show. And they are well aware of this fact. See what he just told you? He told you something crucial right there. All you're seeing is some reassurance for diehards. I've been saying this. This whole thing is smoke and mirrors. So that the launch of Helix doesn't resemble a multi-billion-dollar loss. Think about what he's saying. They're not going all in on this generation like you thought they were about to do with the Xbox Helix and Phil Spencer and them and getting all these studios and spending all that money on Game Pass. All that is getting shut down. Ain't no damn Xbox Helix on getting no physical disc, and then all of a sudden it's going to compete with PlayStation, and PlayStation is just failing and it's dying like Xbox. You wish. You're a loser. You wish it would. No, it's never going to happen. And as a matter of fact, it's way blown out of proportion. What's going to end up happening is that Sony's going to have to take a little bit of the loss of the PlayStation 6 at launch because of this market right now. But over time, they're going to drop the price when the bubble pops in 2028 and they don't start selling more. But the PlayStation 6 is not going to be selling like the PS5, the PS4, and the PS1. It's going to be in a PS3 situation, but it depends what type of situation. I can tell you that right now. I don't believe no PS6 is going to come, even if Sony does get it down to 800 or 750. That's still going to be rough. But PlayStation has a future, and it's not going to die, and nobody should ever want that to happen. Now, Microsoft destroyed Xbox hardware. I'm just accepting the fact that it's already over, and I'm not going to be deceived, and I'm not going to fall for all this nonsense. So the idea of saying it doesn't resemble a multi-billion-dollar loss is trying to sell it at a loss and manufacture millions of them and try to put exclusives on there and think you're going to play this game in the future. It's not going to happen. Microsoft knows this now. And like he said, the only thing they're doing is just kind of like brainwashing the diehards who continue to be brainwashed. Going down, he makes it clear right here. This is the biggest highlight. That's why he put it in red. There is no future for Xbox hardware. And AGN has been trying to tell you for a long time. But you keep on listening to numbskull Xbox fanboys. Not the ones who would just want that because they're cool and they don't go harassing other channels and harassing people. People definitely in the PlayStation and Nintendo community because they're correct and they can't handle it. And maybe some people in the PC community. It's because they can't handle the truth and they're putting on a grift. If you are intelligent, you know Xbox hardware is done. Even if you're in the Xbox world. You said, but what do you mean? They're going to probably make the Helix. I said, just a little bit. It ain't going to do nothing, though. It ain't going to even move the needle. I'm talking about it ain't going to be not even no 20 million. It is done. There's no point. And they can't go back to exclusives. What's the point of hardware if you don't have exclusives? You're just a third-party box. And at this point, a massively overpriced third-party box to the console gaming industry. So... And then he says, and they aren't really pretending otherwise internally. He knows the inside game. You see this right here? That's why he says, if they were being serious right up here, if they were being serious and they are aware, all you're seeing is just pretty much reassurance for diehards, brainwashing. There is no future. Remember, read this again for Xbox hardware. And they really aren't pretending otherwise internally. Why do you think Phil Spencer left? He knew this. This is not what Phil Spencer wanted. Phil Spencer even let you know he didn't even want $1,000 console. Look at the Xbox Series X being at $800. Why do you think they scrapped the 2 terabyte? That thing would have been like $900 something. right where the PS5 Pro is, or maybe like $50 more expensive. It's like, oh hell no, remove that off the market. That's what I thought Valve should have did with the Steam Deck, but they want to make that money for whatever they think idiots are going to go and buy it. Otherwise, why would you leave it there like that? Why would you put the Steam machine at that price? Why not delay it? Because they know there's diehards that are still going to go buy it and they're still making massive profit. Hey, if they're going to buy it, I'm still making money. So continuing, it says, at least they'll put on a good show for the internet before everything turns south. Remember that one post where it said the Xbox hardware is going down to 2.5 million this year at most. And then after that, it's just going to go down and sink and disappear. Then the Helix is just left over. I wouldn't have much hope for the Helix. I'm telling you, just if you align your expectations like this and you somehow end up getting surprised, you would actually be in a better realistic perspective. Continuing, he says, gotta protect the revenue stream you have until you're finally ready to cut it all off. Hey, take this right here a little bit serious. I'm serious. Because AGN has been trying to tell you for a while. If you really think about the console space, what's left over is what is there in the Series X and S world. And I guess there's going to be a little niche window for the Xbox Helix. But there's not much hope from a hardware standpoint. It's PlayStation and Nintendo. And Steam as an app. Because the Steam machine ain't going to do much anyways. Until like Valve, I guess, drops the price by like $300 for all of them. Or at least 200. You can say, okay, at least it was 800, but even then, like, you're in the Xbox ballpark. So, and that's not going to be able to happen until 2028. So, yeah, it sucks. And they can't put any sales right now because they're losing too much money. And Valve just lost their mind anyways by even attempting that. Like, it's not going to work. So, this post right here says a lot. Going down, you have, we can actually go to the thread this way because it actually makes things better. I just ran into this, right? And this was kind of going to the thing like, after 3,200 layoffs and a sweeping restructure, developers I spoke with described morale as being at an all-time low. Even internally, opinion is divided over whether exclusives are the right answer. Some believe this is the only way to rebuild Xbox. Others think pulling games from PlayStation and Nintendo limits the audience at exactly the wrong time. Exactly. There's not a time for that anymore. One thing everybody agrees on, what Xbox was doing before wasn't working. And, you know, Xbox Returns exclusives comes at one of the most difficult moments in the brand's history. Everybody knows that. So, Los Angeles Citizen says, LOL, this is fantastic news. It's going to be hilarious at the next Xbox event. And then James is laughing. You know, James is a clown. He'll do that type of stuff. So Noah says the same guy that said Xbox exclusives aren't coming back. Yeah, he said that before. But the thing here is, I know he's been wrong before. I'm not saying this because I want to back him up as the official source. That's not the point here. The point here is that it's easy to see that game that he's pointing out right here. This is not hard to realize. Like I said, anybody can notice the obvious. So he's not some guy that's giving you some crazy inside intel and it's like, oh, he found out something we never found out before. And it's like, nah, dude, the writing's on the wall. The cat's out the bag. It's not that hard to realize this. I can see it easily. So the only people that can't see this are Xbox fanboys. This is another Xbox fanboy who can't handle the truth. Oh yeah, bro, go ahead and make a Blue Sky account too while you're at it. Yeah, might as well ask a random bystander on the streets about Xbox and might tell better stories. Yeah, they don't notice the obvious. Are you using that fake insider again? I think Snickers is James's boyfriend. These guys are funny, man. I also heard Sony is canceling the PS6. I don't know about that. But the thing here is that he's pretty much correct about basically saying that Microsoft is putting on the front. Haven't they been doing that this whole time? They made you believe that Game Pass was going to be successful. Right? They make you believe that exclusives is going to bring back Xbox. Who believes this? Only diehards. I'd say this post has some intelligence to it. Not that it's some inside post. It never says here anywhere that he says, oh, rumor or insider, Microsoft is getting ready to do this and that. He's not saying that. Where is he saying that at? He just said there's no future for Xbox hardware and they aren't really pretending otherwise internally. That's all he's saying. He's not saying that I got some inside intel and it's a rumor or it's a leak. That's not in the case. If that was the case and you were saying, oh, this guy's not reliable for leaking and he's not reliable for this and that, I'm like, okay, I can understand what you're saying. But no, he's just saying, look, man, I'm just telling you right now, this is what I believe is going on the inside. And I think it's pretty obvious. Whether he heard that from somebody else or not, I don't know. It doesn't say that in this post. But if people are coming on here taking it that serious as if like this is credible insider source information, hey, man, that's on you. Do I believe this is credible for just my own deductive skills and noticing the obvious in the gaming industry? Yes, it's not that hard to realize this. Was I ever one of those guys to believe the Xbox Helix was going to come in and then all of a sudden one day it's going to be able to compete with the PlayStation? It's like, no. I knew that was over when Phil Spencer threw in the towel. Because he made it obvious a while ago. Phil Spencer was one of the very few people that really saw, though he didn't want to tell Xbox fanboy straight up, even the Xbox Helix is pointless. You want me to tell you? I'll tell you. He's not going to say that. But does he know that? Is he still around? Why is he not? You see what I mean? No, because AGN has been trying to tell you for months that Microsoft is preparing for AI takeover fully. Oh, that's why all those people in those positions are all AI people. And they're very good at talking a good game and making you believe that something's going to be happening in the future for Xbox. But the whole time it's like, when you cut off the camera, they're just like they're laughing and it's like, yeah, I mean, we're getting ready for AI, you know, and they're talking off the camera with people, but you're not going to see that on the camera, because if they told you that, oh man, that'd be a bigger outrage on the internet just because it's just the way that it works. That's going to be bigger than the PlayStation media physical outrage, which is obviously died down massively and is not succeeding. Black Ops 1 and 2 have showed you that, along with a couple other things. It's like, oh boy. And Microsoft was a part of that. And why do you think they're targeting Call of Duty, which it has been their biggest sales, which I'm guaranteed they probably already sold Forza on the PlayStation platform specifically. You didn't get that point because they know where the money is at. Call of Duty sells the most on PlayStation. PC doesn't even come close when it comes to PlayStation money for Call of Duty. And that's their biggest monopoly. So that ain't going nowhere, obviously. And they even put it on Switch too. Now you see Modern Warfare coming on there. It ain't going exclusive. If Microsoft was serious, they would try that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're playing with you. And people are taking it serious. That's why they're nitpicking with the exclusives, because they can only play that game. They can't go full force. That's why Matt Booty was saying, don't believe that all single player games are going to be exclusive. I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. I'm just telling you the truth. That's why I said in my last video, Xbox fanboys are getting butthurt about what he said. And then people were making up what he said in a different context, which he didn't say. So AGN just had to cover this because it just gives you the idea that you could think positive if you want, right? But only if the positivity is going to be real. Xbox Helix to me is cooked. This market is cooking gaming. And no matter how you look at it, Xbox hardware is finished. And it's time to wake up and smell the coffee and realize that, so that you could get prepared for a future and a better perspective. Obviously, I would love to see Xbox be able to compete with PlayStation again if that was possible, right? But that's not the writing on the wall. That's not the truth. The truth is that Xbox hardware is done, and that Microsoft needs to be a strong third-party publisher. And if they can't even do that, since they failed in every other category, they might as well go all out on doing whatever the hell else they need to do and sell off the Xbox brand. Other than that, yeah, because you just haven't done a good job with it. So become a member, leave a tip down below, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think about this. Later, y'all. Keep on gaming no matter what platform you're on.